Alrighty, here we are, everybody. It's Phil Johnson from RoadsideTraction.com. How's it going? Welcome to my once a month, second Monday of the month webcast. 15 minutes of pure musical genius. Just kidding. Anyway, hey, I'm just back from Lake Tahoe. Went to Tahoe over the weekend to see my good friend Lindy get married. We had a really great time. We stayed at the Mont Bleu Resort and Casino. It was all very froofy, and we had this weird it's a Roman theme, which is weird because it's owned by Tropicana, but it makes you think of Caesars. Anyway, we had this weird Roman tub that had this lip that you had to climb over to get in the shower. It's very strange. But anyway, the wedding was great. We went out. They took us out on this. We went out on this cliff, and everybody all dressed up in their suits and tuxes and high heels and dresses. I wasn't wearing high heels or dress. I had a suit on. But they took us out on this cliff thing, and we had to tromp up through the dirt and all the rocks and for a 5 minute ceremony. So it was very cool, but it was nice, and it was right over Lake Tahoe and all that kind of stuff. And the interesting thing about weddings now is that they are capturing them 360 degrees from every angle because everybody had a camera, a video camera, a still camera, a smartphone. Everybody had this thing. They will be able to put together a complete panorama video of their wedding ceremony, I think, if they gather enough of the footage around. It was pretty amazing. And then we ate and we ate and we ate a lot. The first night we were there, we went to the Cabo Wabo, Sammy Hagar's Cabo Wabo over at Harris in Tahoe, South Tahoe there. And I played the game of no tortilla chip left behind and ate far too much. My salt intake was just through the roof, but boy, it was pretty good. And then last night, post-wedding buffet. Yes, we had the buffet over at Harris. And my favorite thing to do at the buffet is have a little bit of food and then just eat everything at the dessert table. That's what I like to do at the buffet. And so I ate way too much over the weekend and have to be good all week now. But that's the way it goes. So anyway, it was a nice wedding back from Tahoe. I just got home about 2 hours ago. And hey, it's just like being on the road. I'm going to drive all day and then I'm going to do a gig. So here we are. This will be great. So anyway, let's dig into some music. The first tune I'm going to do for you is this is one of my favorites, and I don't get to perform it very often. This is a song about a gig that I did, and the gig was on July 5th a few years ago. July 5th, not a big party day, July 5th. And it was a last minute thing. The club wanted to do it. There was no promotion behind it. So we showed up. I was opening for a band, and there was nobody there. Nobody. Except for like halfway through, this one girl showed up and danced like crazy. But the thing was, we had a really good time. We just played our music, and the bartenders had a good time, and the sound guy had a good time, and we just did it anyway. So that's what this song is about, and it's called Dead City Support Club. Hope you like it. I arrived on an average Tuesday night for another meeting of the Dead City Support Club. The sound man was gearing up for the fight, even though there was no audience in sight. It was just another night for the Dead City Support Club. The band played its heart out on every song. The bartenders clapped as they sang along. Dead City Support Club ignored the gloom as the sound bounced off the empty room. Everybody was just there for the love. Dead City Support Club. At 10:05 a crazy girl walked in, a drunk or high we could not begin to tell. She danced like she was watching the dead at the Dead City Support Club. The band played its heart out on every song. The bartenders clapped as they sang along. Dead City Support Club ignored the gloom as the sound bounced off the empty room. Everybody was just there for the love. Dead City Support Club. As the hands of time ticked away, we heard the weird girl say she was feeling down, but we brought her back up. We looked at each other and smiled, decided it was all worthwhile to find a little bit of life left after all. The band played its heart out on every song. go. That's Dead City Support Club. And that was about one of the worst gigs I ever played. But it actually wasn't the worst because we did have a really good time that night, just playing our music. And bartenders were clapping, and the one crazy weird girl did show up and kind of hippie danced all over. It was pretty interesting. I don't do a lot of gigs like that anymore, fortunately. And if I do, I'm being paid a heck of a lot more for them, which is a good thing. Yeah. So, so we drove back in today, and we ate a lot all weekend. And it was a crazy fun weekend, and too short. But now back to work, and definitely back to work this week. I'm back on stage quite a bit this week. Tomorrow night, you can see me in Aptos, California, at the Britannia Arms. I will be doing a set there. Wednesday night. I don't even know today's Monday. That's Tuesday night at the Britannia Arms. Wednesday night, I will be at Angelica's in Redwood City, California, doing comedy there. Also on that bill, my friend Kellen Erskine, who you might have seen on America's Got Talent this year. He was way funnier than the guy who got to the finals. I'll put it that way. And then Friday night, I will be at the Federley Playhouse in Vallejo, California, with Ngayo Bialum, who, if you haven't seen him before, is a black guy with dreads who smokes a lot of weed. And so I'm going to do my stuff about how I don't smoke weed, and I think it's going to do really great for his audience. Saturday night, I will be at Bistro 33 in Davis, California, also with Ngayo. Also him telling weed jokes, and me not telling non-weed jokes, telling jokes about not smoking weed. Surprising sometimes that I don't. Isn't it? Just the way, I don't know. Anyway, let's get on to the next tune. I'm going to do my latest single that came out called Dodged a Bullet. And this is a song. Oh, I know what I forgot to mention. On the last one, if you like Dead City Support Club, that is on my EP called A Nut Unbroken. You can get it on my website, roadsideattraction.com, BillJohnsonComedy.com. And that is name your own price. Everything on my site is name your own price. So go through there and pick out anything you want, and you can get it for free, or you can put some money in. I would suggest putting some money in because, hey, I work hard to do this stuff. So put some money in, or you can get it for free. It's more important to me that you hear it. So anyway, you can go listen to that on my website. That's called Dead City Support Club, From a Nut Unbroken. This next one we're going to do is called Dodged a Bullet. This is a digital-only release. It's been very popular at my shows. And where it comes from is a friend of mine asked me to write a song for her baby shower. She was having a baby shower. And she said, will you write a song for my baby about the miracle of childbearing? And I said, you forgot I'm a comedian, didn't you? So that's what this song's about. Here we go. Little baby, you were brought here through a miracle and a broken condom. I didn't know sperm carried knives, and somehow you got by the IUD, the diaphragm, the spermicide, and a morning after pill. But if Daddy hadn't been so drunk and Mommy hadn't run out of batteries, if Daddy pulled out on time instead of thinking about Angelina Jolie, then baby you wouldn't be here. You'd have been wiped up with a towel. Little baby, will your new life be a happy one? Or will you make your money putting sausage between your buns? Will you be a great man who brings peace to all the land? Or the type of guy that lures kids into a big white cargo van? And since you're pretty scary, I'm really glad that you're not mine. And I guess I'm pretty happy that your mommy cheated on me this time. So go ahead and be just as evil as you wanna be. Hell yes, I dodged that bullet and I'm free. There you go. Dodged a Bullet is the name of that song. Most people just call it the baby song. That's okay. So you can get that on my website. That's the only place it's available. It's not on any of my CDs or DVDs. And it's at my website, philjohnsoncomedy.com, right on the front page. And you can download that for whatever price you please. And if you think it's worth nothing, you can get it for nothing. But if you thought it were worth nothing, I don't think you'd want to get it at all. But that's up to you. I do have a new release coming out in a couple of weeks. I'm releasing new material every month, every other month, a new song, alternated with a live bootleg recording of one of my shows. So the show that will be coming out later this month is my very first comedy show ever, and it was from the Hyena Theater in San Francisco 8 years ago, almost exactly. And so that'll be out in a couple of weeks. And if you're not on my email list, make sure you go to the website, fill out the little form on the right side. I'll send you a bunch of free songs anyway, and you can get on the email list and find out when cool stuff like that is happening and when I'm coming to your town to perform, which I will be doing soon. I'm coming to everybody's town soon. I'm cloning myself. I'm working on cloning myself. It's a very top secret project. It's costing a lot of money, but I'm going to be everywhere. That's how it's going to work. So I'm going to do one more song for tonight, and this song I like to do the public domain cover song. You can see I have lyrics here because I can't even remember my own lyrics half the time. But on Ustream, not really allowed to do covers unless you license them, and I'm too cheap to license them. So I do public domain covers, which is really cool because we get to go back and dig into really old tunes. And so this is a song called The Halcyon Days of 49. And when they say 49, we're talking 1849, because this song was written in 1898 by what's that guy's name? A.J. Waterhouse and Maurice Levi. And this is a song written in 1898 about 1849. So this is looking back 50 years on the gold rush. Everybody thought the gold rush was awesome. You remember when it was the good old days, and it's talking about how it's not really the good old days. This is like writing a song about the 80s right now, which I might have to do. So here we go. This is called The Halcyon Days of 49 by A.J. Waterhouse and Maurice Levi, written in 1898. It's all very well, the story to tell of the days that are growing old, when the men of might first turned to the light that shone through the country of gold. It's well to praise the halcyon days when our world was so virgin and fair, but I wish to remark 'twas not all a lark, 'twas a different thing to be there. Beans and bacon, bacon and beans, one streak of fat to numerous leans, a camp full of kings, no queens in the line, in the halcyon days of 49. But the days of old and the days of gold, the poet may merrily sing, but a lack of pay dirt was the thing that hurt, and it wasn't so seldom a thing. With eggs worth $1 and butter the same, and your claim panning mightily bare. I'm repeating today what the pioneers say, 'twas a different thing to be there. Beans $1, bacon the same, hole in the ground considered a claim. Hole in the ground but not in the mine, in the halcyon days of 49. When the glimmer of gold to Marshall told the tale that the nation should hear, and the trails to the west were beaten and pressed by the men of that earlier year, a glamour and haze hung over the days, and the dream of Golconda was fair. But Lord help a man if his claim didn't pan, 'twas a different thing to be there. Things quite different, a different thing, that is the fact that I'm trying to sing. Bacon and grub and a lack in the mine, in the halcyon days of 49. The days of old and the days of gold, up stakes too. When the men of might first turned to the light, while fortune so frequently flew. In the olden days that we love to praise, oh how not we knew the trials and care. It's a beautiful thing of those days to sing, but it wasn't the same to be there. Not the same, it wasn't the same. There wasn't the wealth in every claim. There wasn't the stake in every mine in the halcyon days of 49. There it is, the Halcyon Days of 49. I think that was kind of an interesting song about the gold rush days that you don't actually hear about all that often. They thought it was wonderful. It wasn't so wonderful. Now I have to write a song about how the 80s were not as wonderful as we all think they were. Do we think the 80s were still wonderful? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it needs to be a song. Anyway, Phil Johnson, that's my 15-minute Monday night comedy show. You can catch me here every second Monday of the month. So next month, that will be the 12th of November. We'll be here. We'll do it again. Different songs, different jokes, different stories. You can find me at philjohnsоncomedy.com. And this week, you can see me in Aptos Tuesday night, Redwood City, California, Wednesday night, Vallejo, California, Friday night, Davis, California, Saturday night. Thank you very much for attending. Good night.